Aquarius, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for early to mid March 2026. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business, as always, and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Aquarius collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for the beautiful Aquarius collective in early to mid March? What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Aquarius early to mid March. What's the vibe? What's the energy? It's a beautiful time of year. Let's see what's flowing for you this week. Oh, there we go. I'll take it. Cool. Lady Luck. Wow. I'm not sure if you've had someone had her recently, and I always say, wow, this is a rare card. Like, she doesn't often show up. So I always get really happy whenever I see her in the beginning of a reading. Now, to me, it's lighthearted, it's fun. There could be a lot of very good positive aspects to this card showing up in the very beginning. So even if when we get to tarot, the energy is a little dicey, the fact that we have Lady Luck in the beginning is a great thing. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the March subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk more about Lady Luck. So look at that image there. We have her sitting, playing with the cards. She's got some poker chips, little slot machine, repeating seven. She has the dice. Now, in the good sense, I'm sure a lot of you can understand this is very similar to the Wheel of Fortune, where you might have a little stroke of good luck, or something could just bounce your way. Like, oh yeah, that was a lucky bounce. That was a good one. I'll take it. So whenever this shows up, I'm like, yeah, you might want to play the lotto when she shows up, because the universe might give you an alley-oop in one way or another. I'm not saying everyone's going to hit the lottery, but I think you know what I mean. You might catch a lucky bounce, which is always fantastic. We welcome that kind of energy. The only downside to this card is that sometimes it could be a little too risky. So I always mention that when Lady Luck is here. It's like, yeah, I mean, maybe you might want to try your luck. Maybe you're a little more risky, or you push things, or I don't want to say you're having too much fun, but Lady Luck can sometimes push things a little far, right? Where it gets to the point of risky. So watch out for anything like that. But aside from that, we love her. We'll claim her. She's a great sign. And you might be getting a lot of signs and synchronicities too when she shows up. So we'll let her chill out. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you three tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for my beautiful Aquarius friends. And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. It was titled Sudden Action Incoming. Interesting. And when I think of sudden action, that could show up in a lot of different areas of life, whether it's work and business, whether it's interpersonal relationships, or just how things progress. And the way the energy showed up last week was kind of out of nowhere. It was kind of picking up business real quick. So we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So we take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else, right? Let's get it going. Three cards to start for my Aquarius friends. What do we have? Oh, that was quick. Okay. So we got two cards that came out together. We got the Death card in position number one. Don't get freaked out about that, because there is also a very good follow-up card right next to it. So we're definitely going to want to dig deeper, because the energy, there is a certain universal element, especially when we started with Lady Luck, and now we got Death, and now we got the Four of Wands. These are all very powerful spiritual energies. They're intense. Let's get one more here. One more here. So what do we got for? I mean, I'll take this all day. We got the Sun in position number three. That's beautiful stuff. All right, so I'm feeling pretty happy with what I'm seeing. And listen, you know how these readings can go. It's just an energetic weather forecast, right? We still have to clarify. I'm going to try to not get too overly positive just yet. But when we go from like Lady Luck to all this, I'm liking what I'm seeing. But let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. But at first glance, I always like to break down the elements first, because I feel like that's important. It tells us how the energy is flowing, or the areas of life that could be important. You have a mixture of fire and water. Now, when it comes to fire, that's an element that Aquarius gets along very well with, right? Aquarius is an air sign, even though you're the water bearer, you're technically an air sign. I always have to throw that stipulation out there. So fire and air work well. Now, when it comes to fire, that is the realm of action, similar to what we saw last week. So it's the actions we take, the actions other people take. I think of health, I think of wellness, I think of energy levels, whether you're feeling high or low. Fire is passion, drive, desire. It's that burn within us to put action towards something. So I like it. Now, the downside to fire is that sometimes it could be a little too intense. Sometimes fire could be a little uncontrollable. It could be a little explosive and take a left on us. So it's something that we do need to watch out for. Now, when it comes to the water, that's more so matters of the heart. It's the internal you. So things, people, situations I care deeply for, things that I'm emotionally invested in. You might be a little more tender than you normally are when there's a lot of water showing up. It could represent creativity. So whether it's creative problem solving or your creative juices are flowing, I like water. It's good. It has a nice place, especially how it fits within the reading itself. The downside to water, and again, it could be partnerships too. The downside to water is that it's always flowing, right? Like it's never set in stone, it's never in place. So it could be hot, it could be cold, it could be up, it could be down. There's a little volatility to water too. But let's go through and start building this out piece by piece. Position number one, and before we even talk about the death card, I have to mention that all of these cards have spiritual undertones to them. And there is like this dark light yin yang energy we're picking up already, right? With the sun and the death card, these are things coming into balance. There's a certain cosmic overtone this week. But position number one, we have death. Now, for some of you, this could be a Scorpio placement. It might be a Scorpio moon like myself, or maybe you have some Scorpios that you're connected to with this card. Now, people always see the death card, they get freaked out. You know, like whenever you see a tarot reader or fortune teller in a movie, they're always going to pull the damn death card out and be like, oh, scary, scary, spooky, spooky. No. To me, this is a card of change. It's a karmic card. It represents transformation. When I see the death card, I think of a phoenix rising from the ashes. So, metamorphosis. Life is about perpetual change. The death card represents bigger change, right? Big picture, transformative. I really, really like it for that. So, this could be someone remaking themselves. Now, death can also represent the end of a chapter, the close of a chapter, and the beginning of a new one. So we do want to look at this further. Now, what might be the downside to the death card? Sometimes this card could represent the past coming back around, something returning. It could represent things that we still carry with us, wounds that we still carry. And yeah, again, it could be a rough and tough ending sometimes, not always. It could also represent loss. So we do want to look at it. It's the darker side, it's the deeper side. Now, moving to the middle, as we get the death card positioned right back here by the amethyst, we have the Four of Wands, the 1111 card. Beautiful. I always say when this card shows up, you might be seeing extra signs, synchronicities. So whether it's number signs, whether it's like animal spirits, whether it's dreams, this card is huge when it comes to omens. So yeah, that's a great thing. But aside from that, the Four of Wands is a beautiful, sturdy, celebratory type of energy. I think of big groups of people. This is one of the marriage cards out there, but it doesn't just mean you're getting married or something like that. When I see the Four Wands, it's a group of people celebrating together. So it's nice. Of course, I think of a win and blessing when this card shows up. It's very solid and stable. It could represent home and living situation as well. But the downside to the Four Wands, aside from the signs and omens and all that other stuff, is that sometimes it could feel stuck. So when I see the death card moving into the Four of Wands, either it's something that feels like it's successfully moving forward or it's reverting. You ever hear the phrase 2 steps forward, 1 step back? This combination kind of feels like that to me. However, we move to the back end, we have the sun. Beautiful. And to me, the sun is the most positive card in the deck. A lot of readers would agree. Big Leo energy, which is your zodiacal opposite. On the zodiac wheel, Aquarius, Leo, they're straight across from each other. So this is good. This actually works very well with Aquarius energy. But to me, I think of source energy. I think the source of it all. I think of light, life, love that shines down on us. This, of course, this is wins. Of course, this is blessings. This is optimism. This is seeing the best in people and the best in things. But what might be the downside of the sun? Can you guess it? The intensity, right? You ever get sunburn? So sometimes this card can be a little too intense or a little too much. So like when I go from Death Four of Wands to the sun, it's like, all right, that intensified real quick. So there is this like explosive energy showing up. The sun can also represent aha moments, revelations, realizations, information coming to light. So if you are in solve a mystery mode, This card tells me you're going to get what you're looking for. But I want to dive deeper on all of this, Aquarius. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here. What do we got for our good friends? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on the Death card. And yeah, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Aquarius, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, let's see why Death is here. Why is Death here for Aquarius? Okay. Eerie. Why does this... All right. Seven of Swords in reverse underneath the Death card to me is like my intuition is trying to tell me something. My gut is trying to tell me something. Now, I know a lot of beautiful Aquariuses in my personal life, my family life. Usually, Aquariuses have very, very good instincts. So, like when I see a card like the Death card and the Seven of Swords, doesn't mean that you're thinking negatively. It doesn't mean that you're thinking worst case scenario. But to me, it's like my spidey senses are tingling, where it's like I feel something. I can't quite put a finger on it, but I feel something. I feel a little weird. So just watch out for anything like that in this time, and we're going to see what other messages come through, because I mean, you know, when you ask for a sign or pray for a sign, there could be some of that even going on too, where it's like, Spirit, help me, show me a sign, give me a sign, give me direction. But the Seven of Swords, let's talk about it. Usually it's very hidden. This is one of my warning cards. I always say this is one of my cards of someone that's being sneaky, not trustworthy. They're making away with those swords, right? So it's not the most trustworthy energy. But it can also just represent the unknown. It can also just represent something that I don't see yet. There is a secretive aspect to it, but it's also something that's just off my radar. So when I see it in reverse, underneath the Death card, it's like my spidey senses are telling me something. Something feels off here. So just again, if you're an intuitive individual, just know like follow those gut instincts. I'm not going to say like blow your whole life up or anything like that, but there's just something here where it's like follow those gut instincts. Even if you don't figure it out, you soon will. That's the energy I'm picking up here. That can be a warning, but I'm not going to say the whole reading is just yet. Let's keep moving. Yeah, it's like I can't put my finger on it. So that's probably how it'll come through for some of you, where it's like I feel something. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's good. I don't know if it's bad. I feel something coming. Let's go in on the Four of Wands. And we do have this balancing going on, like this cosmic energy at play. But let's go in on the Four of Wands. Let's see what that has. So why is that Four of Wands here? Okay. If you need a sign, ask for it. All right, so we have the Knight of Pentacles in the upright. Beautiful. So knights, they're messengers. They also take action. So when I see the Knight of Pentacles, if you're not connected to an earth sign, this to me is something that's a slow build, where it's like, all right, step by step, one foot in front of the other. Here we go. So for some Aquariuses, if you're going through a process of some kind, or you're on some sort of journey and it's not moving to your liking, when I see this, it's like, no, you're building towards something good, one foot in front of the other. Rome wasn't built in a day, all those cliche type things. But I like where the energy is going. But at the same time, if I put that to the side, I get the messenger with the omen card, and then with what I was getting here about the feelings, it's like we have 2 or 3 separate readings here this week for you, even though it's the same cards. For some of you, if you need a sign from Spirit, ask for one and be very specific about it. Like, all right, Spirit, if this is going to happen, show me this. Or if this is going to happen, I want to experience this. Now, listen, I know a lot of Aquariuses are very logical, pragmatic people. I know not all Aquariuses believe in stuff like that. I personally do. I've experienced so many signs in my lifetime that I can't say it's nonsense or anything like that. I'm a true believer. I'm a true experiencer. And I know sometimes if you need one and you ask for it, you will receive it. The universe, spirit, source will reflect it back to you. So I know that was a tangent. We're going to keep moving. So there is something here about sign synchronicities and omens. And if you need one, ask for one. But pay attention too. It's in the details. There's something in the details, like repetitive. Let's go on to the sun. And yeah, I like the energy, the one foot in front of the other, the process, the progress. Let's see what the sun has. Why's the sun here for Aquarius? and that somehow works out for me. It somehow works out for me. I love that. It's beautiful. And now, for some of you, that might just be an assumption that spirit wants you to start repeating to yourself, like, no, things always work out for me. It always works out for me. The universe, the world, spirit, it's not working against me. It is working out for me, even if I don't understand why it's working for me. That's very specific. Only take it if it hits. Right now, with the Sun and the King of Pentacles in reverse, this to me does feel more so like a surprising, unexpected winner victory, where it's like, oh, that went better than I thought, or oh yeah, that actually worked out in my favor. In the end, I got what I was looking for. It's giving me that. So a lot of what we're seeing here, Aquarius, is big picture energy, not just the energy this week, but the energy you're pushing towards, which I love when that shows up in a weekly reading. When we're not just looking at what's happening this week, we're looking at the big ball of wax. Now, the King of Pentacles, Earth sign energy again. Kings represent control of their suit. This is all about the earthly. So when I see him in reverse underneath the sun, there's something about where the energy is going that's out of my hands. That's why I said, to me, it's like, all right, that either worked out for me in a way that I didn't expect, or that's a surprising, unexpected winner victory. That's just it. That's how it feels. And I think it's good. I think it's claimable. Now, if you are having some issues with an earth sign, when I see the sun and the King of Pentacles in reverse, it's either getting information I wasn't expecting to receive, or someone acting in a way that they don't normally do. Like, so there's this odd little curveball we're picking up here on the back end. Let's go through and do a quick recap, then we'll get into the shadow. There's just so much energy flowing through this spread this week, and I know it's only 6 cards, but I just feel like it's layered. I could go another 20 minutes with this. But if you kindly look in the box, position number 1, we have the Death card with the 7 of Swords. That's that really fine-tuned intuitive instinct going on, where even if you're not feeling it right now, there could be something in the short-term future where it's like, I feel something in the air and I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing, and I feel it. I feel something building. That's the main thing I was picking up here. Now, for a lot of you, maybe you just have no patience for any games or BS. That could be very possible too. But moving to the middle, we have the energy of omens showing up strong. We have the Four of Wands with the Knight of Pentacles in the upright. If you want a sign, if you need a sign, whether it's a warning or just clarification that you're going in the right direction, Spirit's saying all you got to do is ask and be specific about it. For another portion of you, the trajectory you're on is like one foot in front of the other. You're pushing in the right way. Then on the back end, we get the payoff, right? We got the sun with the King of Pentacles in reverse. So something works out for me. So whether it's the assumption that you tell yourself every day, everything works out for me, for my benefit, even if I don't realize how or why. There's just this assumption that things are going to work out great. I have the unexpected or surprising winner victory here on the back end, where it's like, at the end of the day, you'll understand. But yeah, also watch out for any earth signs that are coming on too intense. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here. What do we got for Aquarius, please? And yes, I always like to pull one of these at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing. Let's get you one. And yeah, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel. I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this shadow card out. What do we got? Thank you. Cool. Lovers. All right, so Lovers is big Gemini energy. If you're connected to Gemini, that could be it. It also has a depiction of an archangel on it, Archangel Raphael to be exact. So whenever I see the Lovers, I don't just think about romantic partners. I think of beautiful, angelic, healing energy. So with this showing up in the shadows and all the stuff we were seeing about universal, cosmic signs and omens, and then we get the Lovers in the shadows, that's beautiful, and that's just more validation for me with this reading. Now, I will say this, especially with what I was picking up about instinct and intuition, and I see the Lovers in the shadows, there could be a very strong energetic tie to somebody that could be affecting your energy one way or another. Now, I believe that whether it's a minor or a major one, we all build these energetic connections with people, and we don't even have to try. It just naturally happens. But when I see the Lovers, this is strong. This is soul tie. This is soul connection. And seeing it in the shadows doesn't mean like, hey, you're never going to see this person again. To me, it just shows me that there's an energetic influence still there. So even if this person isn't in your view and they are in the shadows, the Lovers here shows me that there's still an energetic feedback. So aside from that, there's a beautiful angelic energy watching over you. So Aquarius, that's what I have for you this week, my beautiful friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the March subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight into your situation and you'd like to have a chat with me, you can book a personal session with me at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. The March calendar is live and spots go quick, so you could go check that out. But for the March subscriber surprise, we're doing another winner's choice. I will choose 3 subscribers to win either a copy of the Everyday Witches Tarot, beautiful deck, or handmade crystal pendant, which I showcase at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, it's 2 simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, what zodiac signs do you get along best with? Which ones are your favorite? You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.